from just outside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, where we scored 2 away, and Miggy is back in the A.
Hey!
Hey! I could lay by the bay, make things out of clay. What do you say?
Let's
pitch some hay.
Listen to what I say.
It is the 5 Takes podcast, and we are back, eh?
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
Along with some really bad puns.
Back honestly, like Happy Gilmore too. In coming to Netflix.
What?
Coming to Netflix
Bob
soon enough.
Barker is dead.
Yeah, I know. How do you make it without? But Shooter McGavin is back in there, and I think a slew of other cameos that will be coming. Because this is all Hollywood does anymore, is just regurgitate old properties. This might break your heart a little bit. I mean, if it's done well, it'll be great. But Goonies 2 is officially in development.
It is a thing.
I don't think I'm okay with that.
Not a lot of people are. My generation, my Zennial generation, is officially called the Goonie generation now. And we're not happy about it.
No,
so.
I just think like some things are done and you don't need to touch them. They are perfection in their existing form. Yeah. And why? I mean, are we that desperate for a cash grab? Do you not have enough? Is this how they plan to rebuild Malibu? Because they don't have any ideas and all the good potential scripts burned up. I mean, I hate that. It's a horrible joke, but like, it wasn't a joke.
It's not even. No, I know. But the reality of it is that, half of the people's homes that lived up in the Pacific Palisades were people that had a lot of money, and they will not have a problem rebuilding so much as, the other half who are just regular Joe Schmo people who also lived up there. The people that worked in the grocery stores.
But look, there's also a lot of regular Joe Schmo people, of whom you guys are, that work in film and television that aren't making gazillions of dollars. And Lord knows I wish that for both of you. But does
this does my background not scream just wealth and austerity?
Yeah. I have a flag hanging from a C-stand that I borrowed.
No, look, it is kind of a bummer that things just keep getting rehashed. I get what studios are trying to do, recapture nostalgia and all these movies that we grew up with, and they're hoping that we have money now to spend on these things, and we want to relive our childhoods. But I just don't think you can do it, especially with Goonies. There's just youthful innocence there.
Listen, they already had a Goonies 2. It's called 5 Seasons of Stranger Things. I don't know why they needed to do that. Like, they think that, they'll just listen. The people who are 40, us, the people that saw the Goonies.
Don't remind me.
And I'm shush.
No, Kat.
You don't want it.
Do you realize I just had an epiphany?
Leave it alone. And the new generation doesn't care. They either haven't seen it or they don't care about it because it's not, it's not modern and it doesn't have 150 things that are all computer generated.
Speaking of the new generation, I'm segueing, baby. We had a member of the new generation on earlier. We did a little pre-record with one of our younger footy mobbers and soccer players out there, Miss Harper, who was on who we did a little record with earlier, about her feelings on soccer and Miggy coming back. So if you're not aware, Miggy's back.
If you live under a rock and anywhere in the vicinity of Atlanta and don't have a clue what's been going on for the last 5 days in this town by the, 6 billboards I've seen and the actual media blitz, which is really wonderful, I think, to see. Like, it's not the whole city is making such an event out of this, and I'm really like as they should. I am really on the struggle bus trying to figure out, like, is there an equivalent thing to this in any other sport? Like, if Freddie Freeman's contract in the Dodgers was up and he came back here, would it be the same thing?
No, but it would be pretty close. I mean, that's a really good example. I was trying to think of somebody myself.
Yeah. He's the only person I can think of that would be remotely.
Well, like Chipper stayed.
Right.
Chipper stayed for his entire career. That's also insanely rare at one club. So that's kind of special in and of itself, especially to the franchise and to this city.
A city like this, especially.
It's not exactly the same. But yeah, I think if Freddie came back, I mean, that would be pretty huge. Number one, they never should have let him fucking go. That was a big, big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, his agent had something to do with that, but...
And we learned later, that had something to do with it. But it's kind of like with Mo Salah right now, because I'm going to tell you, if Liverpool fucks this up, it will be their fault. It will be the Liverpool management and whoever writes the checks, because I've been saying it since the beginning of this season. It will be their fault. Give him what he wants. He's not asking for 200 million. I guarantee you he's not. So anyway, no, I don't think that there is, Jennifer, but I do think what is interesting is that yet again, this is another, remember, football is the fourth or fifth most popular sport in this country. Fifth, I'd say fifth, even behind hockey. So it's special to us, and it's special to this city and to the people who were there. But
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I just like I said, I wonder if there's another sport equivalent to the way that this was handled, because I know there's plenty of people that stock flights when free agents are being signed or transfers.
Well, Ronaldo went back to Man United. I mean, that was kind of special for them, probably.
Flamed out very fast.
Yeah, that didn't work
out. But anyhow,
let's hope that doesn't happen to us.
Regardless, it's a big thing for this city, and we can go back and forth on how big and compare and contrast. It's big. It's a big deal. And in this modern age of being able to track anyone and anything anywhere on this planet, people quickly found out when Miggy was coming and where and what his in-flight meal was. You know, so a group of people, a couple hundred, met him at the arrivals gate on this past, was that Thursday?
It was Thursday.
Thursday. I was there. Jennifer was there. Kat was there.
I was there.
Harper was there.
Our friend Harper.
Do you want to introduce us to Harper and
So our friend Harper from Footie Mob, she
sounds like a kid's book. Our friend Harper.
Our friend Harper. Our friend Harper has been basically a footy fan since birth. I think originally when she was about 2, it wasn't by choice.
Correct me if I'm wrong. She was born inside the 18. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was born inside
in the box, an in the box baby. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Just want to.
Yes. And now that she's a little bit older, she's now a football player in her own right, and
a defender / keeper.
A defender, and I think she shares some great perspective with us on what it is like to grow up being a fan of the Five Stripes, and what getting to greet a player like Miggy coming back, what her experience was of that in 2018, and what it is today. It's obviously, like, in kid year, like, you don't have any perspective of age or time passing. Like, the older you get, the years just start kind of rushing by.
Don't remind me.
Every year when you're small is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking with Harper's mom at the Footie Mob kickoff today, and she gave me this great little insight into Harper's sparkling personality, where apparently she had mentioned to her mom that she didn't want to have another birthday because she really liked being the age that she is right now, and she didn't want to grow up because adulting didn't sound anywhere near as fun.
Well, I can confirm. Harper, if you're listening to this now, cherish your childhood, absorb, try to hang on to it as long as you can. Enjoy these moments. They are the best of your life.
Clearly you're smarter than the rest of us.
Oh, so she is an extremely bright young girl, and well, we'll let you hear her.
We think you'll enjoy hearing her take.
In her own words about her experiences at the airport on Thursday, meeting Miggy, and just what it's been like to literally grow up knowing nothing else other than the Five Stripes, and what her perspective is on all of this. So here is Harper. All right, we are here now with Harper, Footie Mob member, and soccer player too, I believe. I don't know what position she plays. That'll be one of the questions we ask. But we wanted to have Harper on tonight.
The princess of plane safety.
Apparently the princess of plane safety.
And Joseph BFF, I see.
And a Joseph BFF.
Her swag background.
Yeah, the wall behind you is very nice. But we really wanted to get Harper's perspective on Miggy coming back, the season that's coming up, and just how she feels about the 2025 season that's about to kick off here.
Yeah, one of the most important things that we do is this podcast is supposed to be the supporter's perspective, and
there is no more important perspective than young Harper here.
Sometimes we don't think about the younger crowd, the up and coming crowd that's out there that gets to enjoy these games as much as us adults do. So Harper, we're really happy to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for staying up.
Yes, Harper is. We are past bedtime. This is 5 stripes after bedtime.
After dark, yeah. 5 stripes after dark.
So we appreciate that. Make sure you get up in time for school tomorrow. Go do your classes. Go do all that stuff. I don't want to hear anything about calling the principal and trying to get out of school because you had to come be on a podcast. That's not going to fly. Yeah. I take no responsibility.
No, I've stayed up late before. I'm fine.
So Harper, we got to do something really cool this week, didn't we? We got to go to the airport and we got to meet Miggy Almiron and his adorable family when they got off the plane.
Yeah.
What was it like? You were all the way in the front. You were like one of the first people he saw. And you had a pretty special encounter with him. Take us there, Harper.
Well, I was really excited because I thought that maybe if Miggy's back, we can also get a chance to have Joseph back.
Ah, yes.
And it was like really excited to just like see him. And I did the like heart with him, so that was fun.
You did the fusion? So basically you took on the Joseph role because Joseph wasn't there to do it himself.
Yeah, probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And what was it like? Did he smile? Did he
wait? Hold on. Wait a sec. I gotta interrupt here. Did you just ask if Miguel Almiron smiled? This is his default setting. I don't know why we as a country are messing around with like, hey, what do we do for sustainable energy? Just plug into his smile. Everybody just plug into his 1,000-watt smile and we will have enough energy forever. Did he smile? Get out of here.
Tap into
Harper, can I assume the answer to that question might be yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like, I'm just curious, was he extra smiley? Like I don't know where the energy came from. Like it was pretty cool. Like, I don't know that I've ever had like a player interaction or seen a player with like that kind of, on a scale of 1 to Joseph, where did that fall for you?
I would say maybe like 7.5, maybe.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
fair.
up there.
That's reasonable.
Were you watching back in the day when we had Miggy the first time around? Are you an OG fan?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
Awesome. Wait a second. If I may ask, how old were you when Miggy was here? How old are you now?
I think I was 2.
Okay, yeah. You remember this well. Yeah.
Right. So it was ingrained in you from the get-go. That's totally fine. Yeah. So we
need to compliment your family, your parents for raising you right.
That's right.
From the jump, 2 years old. Oh, man.
It's how it should be, right?
It is how it should be.
So I know you got to go to a bunch of games and things like that when you were younger, but like, what do you like about soccer? Why is this a big deal to you?
I like how like I can like interact like with different people and like just like it's just hard to explain. Like when I'm in the game, I just don't think about anything else. It's just
that's when you kind of lose yourself in it.
Yeah. It's like probably the best thing ever.
Because it's a mental break from like everything else.
But
and I just like
interacting with people thing. That's interesting. You just like being with other people and different people you get to meet and get to know people through that through soccer. Yeah.
Like your teammates, your teammates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You like getting along with your teammates really well and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a good answer. Man, I'm gonna cry. God.
Don't.
Lord.
No.
That's such a good answer because I think that gets at the core of like sport. You know,
It does.
and like
Of
why
course
we love it.
Exactly
It's because of the interaction. You know,
this whole thing with Miggy,
Ugh.
this whole thing with Miggy coming back has been, I think, really just oddly emotional. And I've been having conversations with, various people, lots of friends, my boyfriend, anybody who will listen to me blather on about how insanely excited I am to have Miguel Almiron home. And we were talking about, like, is there an equivalent of this in any other sport? Like, could you think of an instance in any other circumstance where this has happened in this kind of way at this point in a player's career with a player who means as much to a city as Miguel Almiron does?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Would you feel the same if Joseph came back?
Yeah.
You would.
Wait. I don't know how to answer that.
There's no wrong answer, Harper.
No, there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, not at all. You can feel however you want.
Question.
Would you feel the same way if Joseph came back? Because Joseph is a little older, and is Joseph the same Joseph that he was when he was here with us, right?
Yeah, I would be like as excited. Yeah,
you would be as excited.
Yeah, probably more.
I understand that.
Yeah, he meant a lot to this city too when he was playing with us, and we for a long time, everybody built him up in a similar fashion to Miggy. I think that when a team wins the championship the way that we did in 2018, something just kind of gets etched into you, and so because they were all there, it's always they're always gonna mean a lot.
I mean, we definitely built Joseph up, and we definitely built Miggy up, but let's not pretend that they didn't put a few of those bricks in there too. Like they put in the work, they put in the love for this city. I mean, the way Harper feels about Joseph, the way she feels about Miggy, that doesn't come just because they're good players and that they scored goals and did all this. It comes because what did Miggy do at the airport? That man was traveling for 12 hours across oceans.
And he was like he was just like being really nice. Like he just like maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like saying hi to everyone. Like you can tell that he was really tired, but he was wanting to be a good person. And like,
was there anybody he didn't talk to?
Yeah.
Or
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
And there were hundreds of people there.
And he was like, I'm going to be a nice person.
Every single
person.
Like, I'm like dead tired, but I'm going to be a nice person.
I'm going to power through it just for you guys.
Yeah. And then I'm going to lay flat on my bed.
So, what do you look forward to the most about going to an Atlanta United match? Like, what's your favorite thing about that?
Well, I like going to the player walkthrough where I can like just like see all of them, like get high fives, and
high fives.
I just like see like more of their personality. I think like I don't know why, but like I see like how kind they are. Like if they're very kind, like Joseph and Miggy, they would stop and like say hi to everyone.
So, who's the meanest player on Atlanta United?
Ooh,
that's a
tough
Bring
question.
down the vibe.
I know.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, and
putting this poor girl on the spot to throw someone under the bus.
I'm not throwing anybody. You can say they're all nice. I'm not going to judge.
Say they're all nice, Harper.
What did you say, Harper?
Don't give her any of this.
Oh, the old coach.
The old coach.
Which
that
coach?
is the most astute answer ever, Harper.
That was good. That was very good. Yeah, I could see that.
Let's not even ask her to pin down which coach. It could be
no,
any of them.
not necessary.
The old coach.
Harper, what are you looking forward to this season? Who do you want to see do well other than Miggy? Anybody else?
I just want to see everyone do well. I want to see Saba also get some goals in.
Definitely. Saba
time.
Saba time. Yes, definitely.
Time for Saba.
How about anyone else that you kind of really enjoy? I mean, I know you like all the players. We love all the players as well, but apart from Miggy and Saba, any other real big favorites?
My mom has a few suggestions.
You can listen to your mother.
What are they?
Pedro Amador.
That's a solid choice. So you get to watch them come in and go out. Is it, last year was kind of a tough season, right? Like, did you, as a fan who gets to see that all the time, did you see anything different about like the way that they would walk in versus the way that they would walk out? Like, did it make it hard to like get excited to go?
Well, I'm always excited to go, but like it was less than usual.
It's fair.
Totally fair. And
right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's work. It takes work to be a fan, doesn't it? Right?
It does.
Like, it's hard emotionally to watch your favorite people like not do what you want them to do and to not be as good as you want them to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's hard to see your favorite players not be happy too, because you can tell.
Yeah.
And
well, like even not my favorite players, like I just like want everyone to be happy, really. Like in Atlanta United players and others.
But so when you're go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Kat.
I was just going to say it's okay to be disappointed as a fan, as a supporter of the club when the club is not doing well. It's okay to be disappointed because we all feel that. That's what's so, that's the collective feeling of the community that we get there, is that when we're all happy, and when we're all sad or disappointed or frustrated, we kind of all feel that together.
Yeah.
So at least that if you're feeling that way, everybody's probably feeling the same thing.
I've experienced that in my own soccer games. Like if we win the game, we're all happy. If we lose the game, we're all like
you do it as a team, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harper,
but it's good to have.
I can tell you that you have nothing but heartbreak ahead of you in your life. No, there'll be ups and downs.
Why are you trying to destroy the hopes and dreams of the young?
I'm preparing her for pain. There will be pain, but there will be a lot of joy. There will be a lot of joy.
She's not a Chelsea fan. It's going to be fine.
Oh,
don't. You just stay away. You don't want any part of it.
I'm the only one that hasn't like tried to bring the conversation down here. So Jennifer, what else did you want to ask Harper?
Well, I was going to ask Harper, who I know plays soccer, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what position you're playing now because you've played a lot of positions.
What?
Well, I used to love playing goalie, but then my last year coach, I think last year, put me in defense, and once I was in, like, at first I was like, come on, just let me out and put me in goal.
Yeah.
But
come on. I got hands. I want to use it.
But then when the, like, ball was playing, I figured out that I'm also, like, sort of like the goalie, but just not in the net. Like, I help the goalie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what also made me love it is I took a shot. And so I scored from
Yes, I love an aggressive attacking defender. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like I was in the defense position. A ball comes toward me really hard, and I just kick it in and goes in the goal. And I'm
like full pitch.
Oh, what the?
Nice deep shot.
Wow.
Bangers.
Yeah, and then I just like every time we were doing positions, I was like, and when my coach asked for a defender, I was like, me.
I'll do it. I love that. That's great. So you took a chance on something that you weren't sure of, and it ended up turning out really well, and you ended up even scoring from that position. So that's good. You took a risk, which is something that I think Atlanta United has had to do a lot lately. They've had to take chances on young players. They've had to take chances on players coming from abroad. They've had to bring people back, obviously. So that's something that you do with a professional sports team, is you're always taking risks and taking chances on things. So you're learning that early on. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So we talked about, we all know who your best friend in the whole wide world is.
Yeah.
Just go like this.
Do you? Yeah. He's literally right back there. In case you're not watching the video, it's Joseph.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Joseph. But is there a women's side player that you really enjoy watching?
I don't exactly know all the names yet.
Okay.
So
you want to describe what she does?
Well, she's a defender, so.
Of course.
It's Naomi.
Crystal Dunn.
Oh, Crystal
yeah.
Dunn.
And I love
Crystal Dunn or Naomi Gura, any of them.
It was going to be one or the other. It was either going to be Crystal or Naomi.
Yeah.
So is it more because you play defense now so that you can kind of identify better with her?
Probably.
Yep. It's like the keeper's
And
union.
you know what? Crystal Dunn has scored a lot of goals, even as a defender. So that's a good person to look up to right there.
Yep.
You know what else she scored? She scored a really expensive contract move to PSG.
Yeah, she did.
Good for her. See,
Yeah,
Harper, you're going to have these opportunities now that Kat and I never ever dreamed of having as athletes growing up when we
as
grew
women
up.
Athletes, yeah.
Which I think it's pretty cool. What you if you want, what you can do with the future. And I'm assuming you want to keep playing soccer because I know you have a wide and diverse array of interests that include theater and now dance and also the soccer and so if you're going to keep playing soccer this season, are you going to stay at defense or you think you're going to try someplace else?
Like I'll try different places, but I'm probably just always going to love defender more.
She's defender through and through.
You want to throw those elbows where you can. And
I've actually made some people trip.
Oh.
So, I'm like showing them. I'm like, give me the ball.
This is what I want.
You're not scoring. I'd rather you fall than score.
I love it. All right. So, Harper, one last thing for you before we let you go back to sleep. And hopefully you aren't late to school tomorrow because of this.
Yeah.
Do you have a message for all the Atlanta United supporters for this upcoming season? What would you like them to feel and know? What should they be looking for?
Probably believe in our players. Like, the more you believe, the more likely it's probably going to happen. And my mom wanted me to show you guys this.
Oh, what is it?
A picture of me.
OG Harper.
Oh, lovely.
If you're not watching the video portion of this, Harper is showing us, how old were you in that photo?
2.5 or 3.
2.5. And oh my gosh. And how old are you?
That's a great age. 2.5. That's a great age to get started in your.
Yeah. Why walk when you can dribble a ball?
Absolutely.
Actually, I think 2.5's a little late. Should be in there. Just have the baby in stadium. This is what I'm saying. Maternity ward at the Benz. Like, let's just stop messing around and do it right. No, that's awesome. I love it. I love that your passion for the game and that you kind of already know who you are as a player. You're like, forward's not really for me. I'm really just about tackling people, winning the ball back, and occasionally getting up and scoring a goal. Stick with it. Be true to yourself. Especially as a defender. They're a unique breed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And not everybody, everybody wants to score goals. Everybody wants to be a striker. Everybody wants to be a forward. They want to go out there.
Nobody
they want
wants
the
to
glory
do the
and
work.
everything like that.
Yeah, but defense wins championships.
Defense wins
That's what I
championships.
thought. That's what I thought. Like, I also love being goalie and forward. Like, I thought if I was going to be in defense, I wouldn't be able to score.
Absolutely
but
not.
I definitely proved me wrong.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
No, plenty of defenders, especially for us, score on the regs. I'm looking at you, Caleb Wiley, Miles Robinson.
Yeah.
Derek Williams,
Cien from time to time, especially from set pieces. There's plenty of opportunities for you to do that. And like Kat said, defense wins championships. They are the heart of the team. Alrighty. Thank you, Harper. We really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on with us.
And we will be sure to check back in with you throughout the season.
Okay.
If you're willing to stay up past your bedtime every now and again.
I'm willing.
Yeah, she's all for it.
We'll check with your mom.
We'll write the excuse note. We got you covered. All right.
All right, Harper. We'll look for you in the Benz this season. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you, and we'll see you at the tailgates. And I can't wait to glitter you up this year. We're gonna.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully some future fusions with Miggy are ahead. Okay.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Hopefully Joseph comes back.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Bye, Harper. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we're back. So that was fun. As you could see, we
almost got Glenn to cry for the
close.
first time this season. It was really close. So at some point in time, we're going to have Harper back so that we can complete the project.
She is super bright, like super aware of like just the way she speaks, the way she conducts herself is like not that of somebody who's just coming up on double digits. You know what I mean? Like, I don't speak that well, and I've been hacking away at this thing called life for 42 years almost. Ugh. And she's already surpassed that in my opinion, but it was really cool to get her like a child's perspective on everything that is going on with this club and has gone on, how she feels about it, and what these players mean to her.
I think it's great that we are now like closing in on an era of the club where we have friends, younger people, that those young people have grown up as Five Stripes fans. We all kind of had to walk in the door not knowing anything 9 years ago. And some of the fans that are starting to be more involved, they were, and it's the same thing for players on the pitch, right? Like, we're going to talk about Dominic Chong-Ki later on when we get to the takes, because, this is somebody who's a season, whose family was a season ticket holder, kid playing in the academy, and now he's on the pitch for the club. And this is the same thing that happened to Caleb Wiley. Caleb Wiley was what, 12 in 2018?
Yeah, we remember the photo he took with Joseph.
Yeah.
And
when I was pregnant, I was pregnant for almost the entirety of 2018, and I went to almost every single game with my little girl in my belly, and I'm pretty sure that the chants and just the overall smell of the Benz is what attributed to her coming out and wanting to play ball as soon as she did, because she's been playing since she was 3. So I'm pretty sure it's just the way that it goes.
So
and now she's finally at an age where you get to start having the joy of taking
so instead
her.
Of putting the headphones on my belly.
Yeah, you don't need the classical music.
Chants. We did the.
You did the "We are the A" on your belly.
We are the A on the belly.
Talk about subliminal messaging.
Oh man! All right,
but yeah, she's finally at that age
so cool.
Where we will really be able to enjoy the games together, and
it's cool.
Bringing up that's something that I mentioned with Harper, is that we sometimes don't think about the younger generation, and like you said, these kids will not remember there not being a soccer club for the city.
Yeah.
You know what else they won't remember?
And then one going away, and then there being one, and then one going away, things like that.
You know what else they won't ever forget? How awesome a practice Mason Mill is.
Well, because they know nothing other than Mason Mill. Mason Mill has been with them from the jump. Actually, Mason Mill has been here for 30 years.
They've been with us from the jump.
They have been us from the jump, but they've been themselves a practice prior to them being called Mason Mill. Sherwood, they've been around for 30 years. They've been around before we knew each other. Back in the days of the Atlanta Ruckus, the Chiefs almost. Chiefs were back in the 70s or 80s, so maybe not that long.
You're right, Jennifer.
Point being, they have been around a long time, and that should say something to you about any practice or any business or any establishment, anywhere you're patronizing and going and giving your hard-earned money to and trusting. They've stuck around for a reason.
We don't patronize.
Not patronaging, or what is it?
Patronaging.
When you're a patron, isn't that patron? Not like
yes.
Not talking down.
I know, it's just funny because it's a double entendre.
I know, but anyhow, go see Mason Mill, man. Here I am trying to give them love, and I'm just getting shot.
I know.
Hey, speaking of awesome things that Mason Mill did, they just put together a really fun to watch promotional video that stars one podcaster on your left and one Emmy Award winning podcaster on your right.
True enough. That one. And I'm also now Atlanta United website famous. If you look at any of the photos from the airport, yes, I was able to get my original, barely ever touched, only worn twice, concrete and strawberry away kit from 2017, signed by one Miggy Almiron. So,
and the best part is she had it under glass for almost 10 years.
7 years. And
7
Break
years. And
glass in case of Miggy coming back. Smash. Smash.
So I'll tell everybody a quick little story about that. I'll try to make it very, very brief. So after one of the games in 17, I think it was probably the third game, there was somebody selling kits outside of the stadium, and it was very dark. And he told me that all he had left he said that he had Miggy kits for sale, but all he had left was double XL. So I basically just took the kit straight home. And because he was my favorite player for both of those seasons, obviously, I never planned on wearing the jersey, but I was like, I'm not going to be able to wear it at a 2 XL. I'll be swimming in it. So I just said, I'm just going to stick it in a shadow box and keep it safe. And eventually I'll get it framed properly. But that way it'll stay safe the entire time. So last week when we did our very first pod of the season, I was like, with Miggy coming back, I'm just going to throw it on, because even if I am swimming in it, it's, no big deal. I went to hold it up for the very first time and I looked inside and it's a large. It's definitely not a double XL. I could have been wearing it proudly for the last 7 years. But it is a only worn twice. And now this only the very second time I ever wore it, I was able to get it signed by Miggy himself. So now it will officially go under glass, because as soon as I brought it home, my wife said, we got to get that framed immediately.
So I have always been of the school of I don't personalize kits with players, because players come and go and the crest is forever.
Right.
And after all of this with the airport and the way he's been and the videos that continue to drop that make you want to cry, his reunion with the cook at the training ground, like, I mean,
it's coming.
The bromance with him and Goose, like, I can't. I'm getting a Miguel Almiron kit.
I can't.
Well, a lot of people
I have been a sports fan my whole life, and I have never.
Just don't get personal.
I never got a
Dominique. A lot of
Dominique.
people think it's bad luck. They think it's like getting your girlfriend tattooed on yourself. Is that as soon as you get that, it's like you're dooming the relationship.
And I am getting a Miggy face tattoo. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, okay.
Like that's
do it on your back like Steve-O, like
no,
right
I'm gonna go like Miggy around the eye, like a Tyson kind of deal,
Oh yeah, that's what you need to improve your face.
I mean, his signature with the underline on the A, like, would actually lend itself really well to some eye work, like right here.
Yeah. So
it would be like permanent eye black.
Like we were saying, Mason Mill, you should go there. Right? Oh my gosh. So sorry, Dr. Cohen, Dr. Miner. Those are the two doctors at the practice, by the way, and they're excellent. And you should go if you need chiropractic care. And everybody should go. If you think you don't need chiropractic care, go try it out. It's all about preventative care and keeping yourself healthy so you don't encounter problems later on in life. Not that I speak from experience. I should have done this a long time ago, but I'm glad that I'm there now and have been there for a long time. 404-321-0082 or masonmillchiro.com. And you can book your appointments that way. You can book your appointments on the phone, and I promise you they'll take very good care of you, and they will actually listen to you and what you need.
Unlike
and
us,
how
who don't listen to each other.
Correct. And they won't talk over you. How about that? Unlike this pod. This is all we do to each other. See? All right. Go check them out. They're in Decatur, Georgia, off McConnell Mill Drive, open Tuesday through Saturdays. And you will love them. And pick up some stickers while you're there. We've got 5 Take stickers there. We got Mason Mill stickers there. They may even have a couple of shirts left. I'm not sure. We're running low on shirts. I gave a bunch away today. As well at the Footie Mob kickoff party where Greg Darts
you were at the All Stripes kickoff party giving out.
I was both All Stripes today.
Glenn did the whole thing where he was in 2 places at 2 almost concurrent times. He split himself in half. It was pretty impressive the amount of peopling you did today.
I'm socializing the hell out of this thing. It's something I'm notoriously bad at. Is kind of introducing myself, self-promotion, that types of things. I'm not what you would call a shy person, but I'm always kind of taken back by someone who says something nice about me or the pod or any work I've done. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need compliments. I'm trying to be better about that this year and take them on and reach out to people as well. So to everybody I met today, thank you very much. And we also met the head coach and general manager from DecaturFC, the women's team in Decatur, Georgia, that will be starting their season in May. Has a couple games in May and June. Look for more content from them coming on the pod later on this season when we get a little bit closer to the start of theirs. A very, very cool thing that they are doing in Decatur. If you have not been to a DecaturFC match, you need to get there. It is cheap. It
season
is accessible,
tickets are super
cheap.
Tickets for Decatur are
and
super
I'm telling
reasonable.
you, it's a quality product. You want to be entertained? Go. You will see goals. You will see phenomenal plays, and you're right there. The pitch is right there. We love the Bends. We love going there. This is different. It's that Bobby Dodd kind of feeling, but even closer. And it's great. It's great to see women's soccer thriving. We just talked about Naomi Gurma just last week.
Yep.
It's a good thing. We all have to keep contributing. We all have a responsibility to support it, to continue its growth. All right, moving on. We had a match in Birmingham.
We did.
Where
we did, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about this one than I was after the Chattanooga one.
Starting off with number one, I was really impressed with Sleesh. We are in need of, and Miggy may very well be that person, and if they want to put the captain's armband on him, I'm fine with that. And he could be that leader.
That would be a good choice.
And his English is improving, so could be that. And I think he would welcome it, honestly. I think he's at that point in his career. He's 30 years old.
A lot of the interview content that's been put out speaks to his own expectations of
himself.
Being a leader in the locker room.
And he welcomes it. He wants it.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready for that role. And that's certainly a departure from what he was in 2017, 2018.
Sure, just starting out. Hey, 6 years in the Premier League will do that for you.
Yeah.
But Sleesh showed a lot of leadership on the pitch. Very vocal, and he's had those moments. He's kind of shown that, I think, a little bit over the past year or so, kind of growing into that leadership role. I don't know if he's going to be that guy. I would love to have a 6, be a captain, someone who's just in the middle of everything at all times. If he wants to step up and he has that quality, I'm not opposed to it, but I was happy to see it. And I hope we see more of that from more players, everybody welcoming and relishing that opportunity.
I also think, and I think it does need to be said, that the learning curve in terms of the MLS game coming from Europe in particular, just based on what we've seen over the last 9 years, where the players from South America, the players from Liga MX, they seem to have a little bit of an easier time integrating into the North American game. When we see the big guys come over from Europe, it's not always the instant impact, especially not like, the big stars and the ones that are, kind of tail end of careers and still big name. What I'm talking about, like, the second or third league talent that comes over here, it just seems to take them a little bit longer because the game speed is different. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit less finesse and technical, a lot more physical as a general rule. And I think this isn't to say Sleesh is not a physical player.
No, it's just different.
It's a different setup. And if you've not listened to the Atlanta Soccer Tonight that was dropped this week by Jason, where he gets on with Kevin Egan and Mike Conti, it is really worth a listen to hear him and Kevin talk about the role and expectation that they have with respect to Sleesh really growing into more of that leadership and being the back end of the double pivot that we're going to expect to see based on the system that it looks like Dyla's trying to implement here.
You're talking about European players having a difficult time transitioning over because of the different speed and intensity and physicality that MLS is playing. I'm wondering if for all intents and purposes, it seems like the Latte Laugh deal is done and he's coming. Championship is, if you haven't watched it, and Kat can attest to this because she loves her lower division English football. She'll watch National League games. I kid you not. Yep. And not just when Wrexham was there. She's followed Sunderland a long time. She loves this stuff. The championship is kind of MLS-y in terms of like, it's pretty cutthroat. Like, you're going to get kicked.
Yeah.
It's fast. And I'm wondering if that might help.
Very fast and chippy.
I wonder if that might help Latte Laugh have an easier time transitioning from that as opposed to a Serie A or a La Liga or the Premier League. If the deal is done, it sounds like it is. I wonder what his transition is going to be like and if it might be a bit easier.
Well, I kind of like his his physical build. Like, he's not, how like TRA is just very kind of like
lanky.
He's just very like, I was going to say like,
he's a gazelle.
Yeah, very much so. But I feel like Latte Laugh is a little bit more, not quite Oh shit! I can see his face. The remember Glenn, the striker that you had up front. The oh god. Anyway,
Giroud?
He's not.
Drogba?
Huh? No. He went to AC Milan for a while, and then he went back to Chelsea, and then oh my god, I can't see his face. What? No, never mind. Anyway, I like the physical build of this guy because I feel like he could be formidable in the box. Because like, you remember how like Joseph just had the ability to just find space for those headers?
Yeah. Joseph it's a good comparison because Joseph, I mean, I used to joke that Joseph was like the highest paid garbage collector in the country.
But he was also so short. But he had to really go up and get it.
He was like a compact, he was short, and he wasn't stocky, but he was thick. Right. Yeah. There was a lot of Joseph in a very small in a smaller man package that allowed him to hold his ground, elbow people out, and find the space that he needed to do, that he needed to find to score the goals. And I agree with you, Kat, that if you look at Latte Latte's build and you've seen any of the video clips and whatever that have been put out there of him, I agree with you 100%. He's taller in like he's a little bit larger in stature than Joseph was, but he's of that similar, like thicker, muscular build that would allow, you would hope, and Gigi was kind of built like this too. It would allow them to create the space in the box to operate.
Yeah, exactly. Like they'll, and like you said, because he's played in the championship, for a while there, he's going to be a little bit more like, he's going to be ready to box people out of his own space is kind of what I'm hoping. And I've seen some of the highlights where he did just that. So if we can service him into the box, if Miggy can service him up front too, he may be able to box defenders out and simply just use his physicality to
you know who did box some defenders out, and I was really kind of excited to see this.
Who's that?
And this is the player who I apologize to is because I'm going to do this to you all season. It's Tamagotchi.
Yeah, our first Japanese player.
It's really not Tamagotchi.
Sorry, it's just popped into my head. The Chelsea. You were talking about Lukaku. Romelu.
Yes, I was talking about Romelu Lukaku. Thank you. That's exactly who I was talking about. I heard a bigger guy. By the way, pronounce it Togashi, not Togashi. But
I think that would be correct.
You put the accent on the she at the end, so Togashi.
So don't put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah,
that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. I forget the movie. I think it's got Mike Myers and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Friends actress. Who plays Phoebe?
She plays. There's only three. Lisa
Kudrow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lisa Kudrow.
Anyhow.
Yes. No. That's one. I use that one, and I use that one all the time. Yes. Yeah. So I think it's Togashi. But he's gonna be something.
I'm impressed. Hey, it's got to. We're talking about.
He is something.
We're talking about adjustments
to that guy
and how it must be difficult for players coming from Europe.
That was, by the way, a very horrible, very bad movie called The View from the Top.
I thought it was funny. It's a horrible movie, but there are some good one-liners from it.
Well, the view that Togashi had of that ball coming in from TRA. I think it was off TRA's foot. I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. I
think it was him taking the corner. Double check on that, but I think it was. Perfect. Picture perfect. And that's impressive because this guy has played his entire career in Japan in the J League. And you want to talk about adjustments. He's never been out of there. He won't take up an international slot. Born in New York, I do believe. So, but still, he's never played professional soccer outside of there. And now, welcome to Atlanta. Get up to speed.
Where the players play.
Hey, that's pretty good. If he can contribute in any way, chance creation, couple goals, whatever, as a backup striker or win more and kind of win it from TRA, the second, the sub on at 70, 80 minute spot, that'd be great. That looked like some really great awareness of him just running into open space, tracking that ball. And if he's already linking up, I was really happy, low-key happy. It's not a take, but like set piece production was pretty good. And if we can get more goals,
and that's the second match in a row that we've scored on a set piece. Hey. So I don't know that it's super concerning. I mean, and I think I've heard some people, stating they're a little concerned, we haven't scored a goal in open play. Well, I mean, we're not putting the pieces on the pitch together that would combine for that kind of scoring for the most part.
Yeah, but if we can be opportunistic in that way.
We have had a hell of a time the last 2 seasons scoring on set pieces. Any improvement in scoring on set pieces, I am going to be absolutely thrilled with. And this is without Stian in the lineup.
I would love more emphasis on set pieces. Like, they're really important. It's one of the few times in this game where the ball stops and you're allowed to kick it towards the goal. Like, treat this as a goal-scoring opportunity. Same thing with throw-ins, by the way. If we're near the 18, throw that thing in the box. I would love a long throw specialist.
Love Brentwood. That is what Brentwood does. That is their bread and butter for getting an opportunity to get the ball into the box.
Brentford does this
Why
all the
not
time.
do it? Yeah.
Yep.
Why not do it? The first time I ever saw a woman, the first time I ever saw a long throw that did the flip was a woman.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the most amazing fucking thing I'd ever seen. I'd never seen a dude do it, obviously, not in like match play. But yeah. Oh man. Why not? Why not use it?
It's a question we will for sure ask the head coach of DecaturFC if there are plans to do this. Something that is concerning, at least for me, is injuries. And that's always been a concern for us over the past few years. I know we have a brand new staff, brand new training staff.
You gotta bring us down, Glenn.
Listen,
why?
Because we already have 3.
He's just keeping
because
us
we
fixed
already
in reality,
have 3.
Jennifer.
Health has been a massive problem at this club.
Injuries are a reality.
Gregerson, Amador, Williams. The back line is out. Or at least day to day. Amador is, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. Gregerson and Williams are day to day.
Oh, is John Day.
And great. And John Day as well. Listen, pressing and counter-pressing, which we saw much more of in this match, is going to be a feature of this team. And that is some exhausting work that you have to be fully committed to for 90 minutes. It's a lot of running. Hopefully, that coupled with what, for all intents and purposes, is being reported as very intense training sessions with water, doesn't lead.
We are adhering to all the rules that are laid out within the CBA.
Yeah.
Players,
he's not. He's not one of those, as Harper pointed out, one of those mean coaches. No. We can only assume that's who she was talking about.
Right.
Bless you,
That
Harper.
was where my mind went immediately.
Yeah, it has
I was
to
like,
be.
she's not talking about Gonzo.
Nah,
he wasn't very mean.
He wasn't. Maybe he wasn't mean
guy
enough. But listen, clearly. It's exhausting work, and we just gotta hope that stay healthy this year. Like, if we can stay healthy, I'm pretty happy, especially if the Latte Laugh deal gets done, with the talent we have, with the depth that we have, with the way the kids are performing. I think we have, at least on paper and what we've seen so far, like, it would make sense for us to absolutely be in the top 4 and competing for a couple trophies.
I'm having a really hard time tempering my emotions right now because I had a lot of hope and a lot of optimism for us on paper last season. Right? My hope and my optimism, I don't think will actually kick in until maybe end of May.
I think that's fair.
Then we know what we're dealing with and what we can survive, because every team is going to have adversity. We are going to have, like, injuries are like with the fixture congestion, and we're lucky. Like, we're really lucky that we only pulled Leagues Cup and we're not playing 2 tournaments this season. Like, and I hate to say it, but like, we needed we needed to be able to catch our breath and get healthy and integrate new systems. And outside of, getting knocked out of Leagues Cup because we sucked at the time, it was also, okay, hey, we sucked, but we've got players going to Copa and we've got players going to, this, that, and the Olympics, and, take your pick. And, or if they weren't going, they were getting traded out of here. So then, who do we have left? Because we didn't, we weren't able to bring in a ton of people this summer. So we were very depleted, very tired, and I don't know. So like jury's out. I get it. It's a little bit, I'm just not, but it's also preseason. Everybody isn't at full fitness. We don't, if they're saying these players are day to day, that doesn't mean a knock. That just means, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. It's preseason. Don't run through it if you're not fully fit.
Yeah. And you're not going to necessarily become full fit by trying to stretch out something like that. It's like, if you literally are like, you're like, okay, guys, I'm done for the day. Yeah, go. Good. Go get some water. Bye.
and what came out last season about Jean Day in particular is he had some, and Mosquera as well. Like, they both had like long-term injuries that they didn't talk about.
Right.
I think who was it? What Lennon too? In addition to the shoulder, obviously, but like there was something going on there. So like, it's there is gamesmanship behind that. We're never going to hear absolutely everything that's going on. You know, we don't get the data feed from the sports bros.
And we don't want that either, because we don't want to let the enemy, you know, other teams on to the inner workings and troubles and things that we're dealing with that might give them a competitive advantage. I understand that. As frustrating as it is for us fans not to know.
No, but it does make me worry a little bit about some of the environment, maybe, because you know, the locker room environment, because I wouldn't ever want somebody to hold back on how they're feeling. You know, like I played when I was 15, I played with a broken rib. I shouldn't have, and I did, and it caused me long-term injury. I still suffer from that. I still have problems every now and then with it, but it was because I didn't want to not play, and I wasn't in any danger of losing a spot or anything like that. I just always wanted to play.
Want to play. Put me in,
but
coach.
At the same time, these players shouldn't be concerned if they're feeling tightness. You know how, like, you know, like when a pitcher is like, I'm feeling some oblique tightness. I still don't know where the fucking oblique is, but it seems to always be a problem with their oblique, you know? They don't play.
Right.
But they also have 165 or 162 game season. Yeah. So I get that. It's like, okay, you don't want to pitch this week? Fine, you'll pitch next week. But it's like, you know, you don't want to harbor an environment where these players aren't feeling like they can speak about their injuries.
Well, I think they are speaking about them. They're just, this isn't just being disclosed to us, I think is what Jennifer's saying. Like, the club plays it close to the vest. Garth more than anybody. He plays everything close to the vest.
Then they shouldn't be playing injured. I mean, I don't know the circumstances and I'm not the coach, but fuck. We clearly don't have the best luck with that. I mean, and you know, you're not going to necessarily get better if you're playing.
It got to the point where we didn't have anybody else, and nagging
that's on management too.
Well,
that's on the club.
On MLS. Like, if you don't have anybody left, you don't have anybody left. And soft tissue, you can kind of play through and do your best. You know, so. But yeah, I hear you. Look, it's been an issue at this club. I don't care the player, and I don't care the coach, and I don't care the training staff. It has always been an issue.
Well, I think they've done pretty much, you know, what I will say is, you know, it remains to be seen how this is going to play out, but at least there have been steps taken to address it, because it's obviously something that's been under
it's been recognized as an issue, and we got to hope that it's been resolved. But at least they said, oh, okay, yeah, we got to try to do something here. All right, number 4, Jennifer, this one was yours. You want to?
Yeah, so you made a reference to the kids being all right, and we all need to learn how to say Chong-Kui in short order.
Yeah.
Because man, Dominic Chong-Kui did not look like a 17-year-old out there.
Nope.
And Luke Brennan has been showing us why we were all screaming for more minutes last season. Yep. So, question to the pod forum: do we have, dare we say it, depth this season?
If everyone stays healthy, yes.
But that's why you have depth. Like, that's why everybody doesn't stay healthy. Do we have what it would take to not fall off the map like we did in April last year?
With reasonable expected, they will happen injuries. Yes. If it's one after another, like right now, if we had to play a match right now and our entire starting back line is out, no, we don't have that kind of depth. But for a couple players to have to miss or get some rest, I would say yes, more than we have in the past.
Yeah, I'd say the last 2 seasons have been, or this season and then some of last year, it's starting to matter to have more depth. So I think that they're focusing not on just like, let's see how much money we can throw at a striker, even though we did do that, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Not
21 million allegedly.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but what I'm saying is I think that last year when they were like, okay, we know with the acquisitions of people like Derek Williams and Sleesh, and they're like, we don't just need striker after striker, midfielder after midfielder. They understood the value of some of these other infield players.
Well, I think what's interesting here,
they're focusing on the depth.
Like, I think what's really interesting when you say focusing on the depth is I feel like the academy, and I don't live in the soccer universe over there, but I feel like the academy has really put much more of their focus on developing defenders, both center backs and fullbacks.
Sure have brought a lot up.
Because I am so impressed with Chung Kui's presence and soccer IQ for a 17-year-old. And Ronnie Dyla said as much in the post-game presser, if you listen to it, that like he was playing way beyond his years, and for him to have the level of maturity that he was displaying in this match in the game state at that age.
And that doesn't just happen. That's intentional from wherever you're learning it from. Yeah. So clearly I would agree that there is more of I don't know if you want to say emphasis, but like it's important. It's important. And when you look at where we are on the depth chart with regards to center back, I think we can all very clearly agree Noah Cobb's number 3 on that list. None of us would be upset if Noah Cobb is starting matches next season. No, he's ready.
He's ready. He's ready for the full-time job. And not too far behind him is Efraim Morales, who has looked fantastic in the minutes that he's gotten. Very solid, sure-footed. Knows what he's doing. He's a little bit more raw, but he's also 2 years younger than Noah too. So there's that. And, Luke Brennan, what he did from like the growth from match to match, because there was a lot of discussion about too much passing back and taking that second pass. I felt like Luke Brennan was so much more aggressive in this match. He was pushing the ball forward. He was looking for the offensive opportunities, and he wasn't afraid to be that offensive opportunity if the pass wasn't there. Whereas I think even in the prior match, he was waiting to find the pass as opposed to he would rather push it back and be safe.
Right.
He's playing less safe, and he was taking a little bit more risks. And I like seeing that from him.
Yeah. I mean, this is the time to do that, is to really kind of push where you think you are to try and see what works and see how you're feeling, as a player, and see what you're really capable of, and to show it off, and to try to say like, look, this is how I've grown. This is how I've come along. And Luke Brennan has never been one of those players to me that was playing safe. I think that he has,
I don't think we want our players to play safe.
No, he has talent, and I think that he knows it, and I think that I felt the same way with Chung Kui. Actually, he felt he didn't feel like he was playing safe. He felt like he was being a little bit daring. He was being a little bit bold. He had some of that 17-year-old audacity, and I like that.
When your coaches and people are around you are saying it's okay to take chances, I'd be happy. I'd be happier with having you taken the chance.
Do it now,
and maybe
absolutely
it doesn't come off or whatever, then not.
Yeah.
I think I prefer that, and I think it's paid dividends in terms of the development, especially on the defenders side of things. All right.
Yeah.
5. Go ahead with number 5. Just a little bit of pushback maybe on it, but I think you have a point to make. Go.
Are we okay? So number 5. Are we starting to see with blind non-soccer insider eyes what everyone inside the club has been raving about Moranchuk?
That's a big maybe.
It's a big maybe. I still think it's too early, but he took a couple of shots. I will say that he took a couple of shots that I thought were worked. He moves the ball around in a way that a midfielder should. I'm being very generic about this because I'm like, okay, so he can do some things.
Here's my issue with the guy. And I will know your
issue. Is this a new insight or what?
No, it's just I'm not looking for the amazing DP things he can do, his wand of a left foot, all those just unbelievable moments. Like the audacious assist he had tried today with a back heel, actually it wasn't a back heel, it was just like a little chipped out right on the edge of the 18 trying to find TRA header. A pretty crazy attempt at an assist, and if TRA had got it, it was a picture perfect ball. Crazy. Takes an insane amount of skill. I don't need to see that stuff. I'm more concerned about just the basics of just threading what should be for him simple passes, through balls, cutting through lines and just opening up space. doing the bread and butter, the basics,
I ultimately, I'm going to push back on you because I don't feel like that's going to be his job. When we have a midfield of Click and Sleesh in the double pivot. And
Click has been great, by the way. I'm very happy.
And you have Jay Fortune supporting that.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going to need, you're going to that's going to allow Moranchuk to basically be the service guy, right? So you're not going to need him to thread the ball through the defense and, do the grunt work, so to speak. Because you are going to have that in your buildup before he gets to the ball. That's the way I see this playing out, especially when you are throwing the speed of Miggy down the right, Miggy down the left, or whichever way they play it, because I think they're going to wind up switching a lot, right? But whichever winger you have, either winger is going to absolutely fly. Moranchuk doesn't have those kind of legs, and then you throw a Latte Lath in there.
I'm trying to figure out, Jennifer, what lineup do you see? What formation do you see us in a 4-2-3-1?
I think
4 in the back, and then Moranchuk and Sleesh.
You're gonna. I think everybody
in 10 spot, Saba out wide.
Everybody being healthy. I think. You're gonna have a Brooks or when he's back, or if not, you're gonna have so you're gonna have Brooks, you're gonna have Amador on your as your fullbacks, right?
Okay.
You're gonna have a center back pair of one of the 3 rotation of Stian Williams and Cobb, because I think you can actually be somewhat game situational in terms of matchups with them, because I think they're all equally good and they bring different things.
Derek still is a center back.
Yeah. Well, I said Derek. I said a rotation between Derek, Stian, and Cobb, and then you're gonna have a midfield 3 of Sleesh, Click, and Jay Fortune, because I think Jay Fortune's earned that role, and I think Tristan's gonna have to pry it from his cold dead hands.
Okay, so a 3-3.
Well,
it's a 4-3. And I think it's going to be a 4-3-3-1, because then you're going to have your second 3 is Moranchuk, Miggy, and Saba out on the 4-3-3-1.
Yeah, that's way too many people.
That's one too many people. That's 11.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's why I'm asking, because I'm trying to fit everybody in. That's why I was saying a 4-2.
Okay, let me rephrase. Let me go back. So I think you may have a rotation going on. You've got on the in right back, and I don't want to even sell Ronnie Hernandez short, because he looked great this past weekend.
That's what I'm saying. But this conversation.
So actually, I lied. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1.
4-2. That's what I said.
Yes,
a 4-2-3-1.
So you're going to have Miggy and Saba on the wings with Moranchuk in the middle, and Latte and whoever the striker is up front.
That's kind of what I was getting at, because I'm trying to understand where you see. I know it's okay without it visually. That's hard and I'm sure everybody listening at home is going, math. I can't.
They're still listening.
Yeah,
impressive.
I know. If they're still here, they're like, what are you saying? My point of that is that trying to understand where Moranchuk is going to play will demonstrate what job he is going to have. And that's what I think we're still kind of wondering about.
Well, I will say too,
Miggy coming back in is a huge piece that will define how Moranchuk plays.
I will say, if Moranchuk does not work out, or Moranchuk starts going cold, I don't think Dyla would hesitate to sit him. And I think we have the luxury with having Miggy, who has played in the role of the 10, because Moranchuk is the 10. Miggy is the winger. Miggy is not here to play the 10 anymore. I don't think Miggy is going to play the 10. He might list as a central midfielder, but I think Miggy and Saba are your wingers.
Yeah, he'll be drifting out wide most of the time, but it's like.
But I do think you've got some luxury with depth said reference that if Moranchuk is really not finding his way, you can move Miggy into that traditional 10 role.
Yeah,
you can put a Luke Brennan. Or even a Hernandez, you've got options, or
there's a lot of flexibility to just not even just with the lineup, but in game too, for players to constantly be occupying space. I mean, it's a very Guardiola way of going about it. It requires a lot of detail. It requires a lot of running and a lot of just committed to it. So that makes me a little bit nervous because that's just hard to do. Not everybody thinks they can play city ball and they can't, but maybe they can play the new version of city ball.
City can't play city ball.
Yeah,
right
City
now,
can't even play city ball. Pep out. My concern with Marincek, I hear what you're saying. He's not here to do that. He's not here to do this. He's here to do these things, right?
Well, we don't know that now.
Kind of. Yeah, no.
Miggy was not in the cards last year.
But with Marincek, I've got more than $12 million that says we do know. Like, he is not. You don't pay that much money just to do service. You just don't. Like, he's there to pull strings in the middle of the field, and I just haven't seen it.
So, final question for you, Glenn. This season makes or breaks your opinion of Marincek. Can we say that?
Probably the next preseason game makes or breaks my opinion. I'm there. Like, I'm there.
So let's be a little bit more liberal about this. We'll say by the international break in the summer, you're gonna know
by May
if this guy is something or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll know by April.
I feel like, and look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend the front office gets everything right, because the Lord knows that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, they've definitely had some big swings and some misses, but I feel like, you know, again, I just to be fair to the player, like, we have not seen him with the right kind of support players. And it's interesting when you look at the style of the players that they brought in. You know, I think, you know, Miggy, for all the vibes that we have talked about, was also, you know, it was not talked about because the big hole was glaring at striker with Gigi and his bullshit. But we really, really, really needed speed and flexibility and creativity down the wing. Miggy does all of that.
He does all those things. Saba does that as well. We have that.
And there was, and it's interesting because they basically told us they were going to do this because they came and said it after the end of last season, they were going to possibly be targeting a winger.
They did.
We just didn't put, because Miggy was always our 10. We didn't put, as a fan base, 2 and 2 together that, oh, hey, that winger's going to be Miggy.
He wasn't on the radar. He wasn't even available. He wasn't being shot.
No, he was. They shot him over the summer because Charlotte's discovery rights came into play over the summer. Right. Charlotte was trying to bring him in the July window.
They were tracking him, and Garth has said as much. He almost let slip that they had conversations with him before the discovery rights were acquired, and I'm sure they kind of sent like a little Snapchat or something that vanished immediately to him. That was
to
funny,
be fair to Garth and Chris, they were scouting him since 2016.
Oh, Chris Henderson was talking to Garth back when he was at Seattle, apparently.
I never knew. That was a really fun little trivia tidbit. I never knew that when we signed him originally, we paid Seattle for his discovery rights.
How about it?
There you go.
Valuable player. He's had his discovery rights bought twice. That might be a first for a player in MLS. I'm not sure.
In any case, we've got plenty of reason to be optimistic right now.
I agree with you. The reasons are there. I think it's fair. It's absolutely fair to say we have not seen Marincek with the players he allegedly needs to allegedly be at his best. We haven't.
And I feel like your frustration is coming from the fact that as a designated player, it's kind of the role of the DP to make the players around him better.
Make the players around him better. Yes. And
I don't know that we have seen that at this point.
That's what I'm concerned about, is like, I'm sure you could be better with better players around you. Also in this league, you're supposed to make the players better. But he's in a unique position, and with that string puller, like, same with Thiago, like, you know, he could only do so much too, but he's a different type of 10, and this guy is vastly different than anything we've had in the past, so all those things just are concerning for me, but we will have all these questions answered come about April or May, and if it's still not happening, then he's just not the guy.
Then he's not the guy.
And that will be a problem because what are you going to do? Like this guy, you don't win without your DPs.
I don't know how big of a problem it is, because I do feel like this is a guy who's still going to have value on the open market, a reasonably decent amount of value. If you had to make a move, I don't know that that's necessarily impossible.
Well, if it really goes poorly, like, it's a massive problem because the window doesn't open until June and there's half your season gone and we're on the road for 2 months. Yeah, it's a massive problem. Still, even with Miggy coming in, even with Latte Laugh coming in, Marincek still has to be integral to our success. Jay isn't just stepping up and taking that role, and some other people, we just bench him and trade him. No. Teams, you don't win without your DPs. All of them. They just have to. That's just the way this league works for now. It's slowly changing. That's for the better. But he's got to. And I would just like to see him do the very basics better and not overcook simple passes. That's all. This is gonna be the most delicious crow ever I eat. In a few months from now, when I'm dead ass wrong about this guy and everything with him, it's gonna be delicious. I will eat it here. I won't even use a fork and knife. Nom 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 nom. You know, it'll be great. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. All right. Is that about everything? Anything else? Anything else we need to touch on?
I don't think so. Other than I don't know what we're gonna do with next week due to Super Bowl, so we may or may not be back next week.
Yeah, I don't anticipate us having a pod. It is National Taylor Swift Day, so we will be at various parties and things. So we probably won't have a pod for that one. But my God, we're not that far away from the start of the season at that point. Very close, and they're going to have some closed door matches as well. The club will.
I believe they're working on getting those streamed. I do know the final preseason match against FC Dallas is going to be streamed.
Okay, cool.
And hey, we're going to have a super awesome preseason extravaganza with our good friends from the north over at Mixtape.
Yep, in 2 weeks. Mixtape is coming back on. And we're going to talk about everything that's going on at Nashville and their club and signings and their hopes and aspirations and dreams for the season. Maybe make the
Operation Bugs Bunny to take the belt back.
Yes, that's got to happen this year. We haven't had the belt in a minute. It's been a minute since we've had the belt. And Raw WWE was just here in Atlanta on Monday. That was fun. I was there. That was a good time. And congratulations to Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair for winning the Royal Rumble men's and women's. That's going to be fun. Anyhow, I digress. That's for another pod, a wrestling pod.
Yeah, take us home, because if I can't talk about skating, you can't talk about wrestling.
Fair enough. All right.
I stopped listening to both of you about 3 minutes ago. So.
So did everybody else. All right, y'all. We appreciate you listening. Thank you very much for continuing to support us and Mason Mill and Atlanta United Fan TV. If you have some time, please, on whatever platform you're using, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. Oh my gosh, I'm sure there are others out there. YouTube for the video portion of this. If you could hit the little like button and the little review button and maybe say some kind words about us, that would be greatly appreciated. Or if you just want to get snarky on there, I'm there for that too. That's fine. Anything to help the AI bots of the world, put our pod higher up in your feeds and get us out to more people. We don't ask for any money or anything like that. We're just asking you to hit a like button and say some nice things if you have.
In other big follow us around news, around tomorrow or Tuesday, we will be live on Blue Sky.
Yes, we will have the Blue Sky account, so you can follow us there as well. If you're on that platform or you're not a fan of any other platforms that are out there, we'll be on Blue Sky now as well. We try to accommodate everybody. We'll meet you wherever you're at, as the kids say. And you can go on the FanTV Discord and join the community of footy fans there. That's a little more tailored and just, a little more closed with just, 40, 50, 100 people, something like that, as opposed to the millions on social networks and what have you. We are everywhere at all times. We surround you.
That's a very, very frightening thought to end on, Glenn.
Yeah, let's just end it there. All right, so we're going to be back in probably about 2 weeks, with Mixtape, with the boys from Mixtape.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any other big news or whatever. We may drop in and drop some stuff.
Sure, we might do a short thing if the latte deal finally gets over the line. And that's done.
Do some recaps based on what we're allowed to actually stream and watch with the upcoming preseason.
True.
Friendlies in Florida. So we'll see what we can do. But thank you again for listening.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Harper for coming on today.
Thank you, Harper.
It was so great. It was so great to have you, and we look forward to maybe doing some more collabs.
Harper's
with
gonna
our
be
younger
back.
fans. Yeah,
Harper's gonna be back. She's a staple now. She's part of the family. That's just it. She's part of the furniture. She's here now. Once we get you, you don't go anywhere. All right, we will be back probably in about 2 weeks' time. No promises. Maybe sooner. We'll see. But until then, y'all be good. We will be back.
Meow.
That was like a quick little meow.
Meow.
Like left to right across the screen.
Yeah,
meow.
like I'm spitting it, like I'm going. Meow.
That was pretty awesome.